In the quirky town of Oddsville, where the tea was always perfectly brewed and the biscuits never crumbled, resided Silly Steve. Now, Silly Steve wasn't called silly for nothing. He had a knack for making catastrophes out of the most mundane situations. His hair stood on end all day, not from hair gel, mind you, but from perpetual shock at his own misadventures. One sunny Thursday, Silly Steve stumbled upon a peculiar contraption whilst rummaging through the attic of his great-aunt Petunia. The device was an unholy amalgamation of gears, knobs, and blinking lights that served no apparent purpose other than to bewilder. Seeing this strange artifact, Steve's heart did a somersault of excitement. "I must try it," he declared to his pet budgie, Einstein. With a dramatic flourish and a distinct absence of understanding, Steve fiddled with the machine's various appendages, his tongue sticking out in intense concentration, a well-documented sign of genius. As expected, chaos quickly ensued. A puff of smoke erupted, followed by a cacophony of unholy clinks and whirs. Suddenly, Steve found himself transported to the Oddsville of 1885, replete with horse-drawn carriages and top hats. The townsfolk merely offered Steve polite nods. Desperate to return home and knowing better than to seek help lest he cause a rift in the space-time continuum, Steve set to work. His attempts to reverse the machine's mechanism were about as successful as trying to comb a cat's hair against the grain. Just as Steve was about to give up hope, Einstein, the budgie, having inexplicably joined him on his temporal voyage, pecked at a solitary green button. With a triumphant beep, smoke clouds and blinding flashes ensued, and Steve was whisked back to his attic. Breathless and slightly more mussed than before, Steve looked at Einstein with gratitude and vowed never to touch odd machines on Thursdays, or at least until next week. So, in the town of Oddsville, Silly Steve's brush with temporal disaster added another laugh to the tally.